Imagine this. You're 20 years old. You're sitting on the bench at the World Cup. Your team can't find a goal, and in the 71st minute, the coach turns to you and says, "You're going on." Exactly 166 seconds later, you smash a volley into the net and wake up a different person. And within a couple of weeks, half of Europe, from Newcastle to Bayern Munich, is lining up for your signature. This is not a fairy tale. This is the true story of Johan Manzambi, a kid from Geneva, the son of immigrants from 2 African countries, who as a child dreamed of being a goalkeeper. How he went from that to becoming the breakout star of the World Cup, that's what I'm about to tell you. Let's go. Johan Manzambi, born on the 14th of October 2005 in Geneva, Switzerland. 6 feet tall, right-footed, a central midfielder, a classic box-to-box player, penalty area to penalty area. His club, SC Freiburg, in the German Bundesliga. But the dry numbers won't tell you what matters. Why his national team coach calls him a street footballer. Why at 20 he's already rewritten records that had stood since 1950. And what Manuel Neuer has to do with any of it. We'll get to all of that. And we start with the fact that his story doesn't begin in Switzerland at all. Because Manzambi's roots are in Africa. His father comes from Angola. His mother from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Johan himself was born in Geneva and grew up at the crossroads of several cultures at once. African heritage at home, Swiss discipline all around, French spoken on the streets. A football entered his life at the age of 4. 4! And from that moment, it basically never left. His path was a classic one for a Geneva kid. The Academy of Servette FC, one of the strongest youth systems in Switzerland, where they spent years shaping him into a player. But here's the most unexpected part of this story. Little Johan didn't want to be a midfielder. He wanted to be a goalkeeper. His idol was Manuel Neuer, and as the story goes, it was his family who practically forced him to play outfield. Remember that detail. It comes back later, and it comes back beautifully. 2023. Manzambi is 17, and he makes the bravest decision of his life, to leave home. Alone. For Germany. For the Academy of SC Freiburg, a club famous for growing talent, and equally famous for gifting nothing to anyone. And then something happens that you almost never see in football. Normally, the road from a youth team to a Bundesliga starting 11 takes years. For Manzambi, it looked like this. Freiburg's youth side, the reserve team, the first team, in less than a season. On the 21st of August, 2024, his Bundesliga debut. He's 18. Though the debut itself was a bitter one, a 3-0 defeat to Heidenheim. But great stories rarely begin with fireworks. His first goal would come in the spring of 2025, a late winner away against Borussia Mönchengladbach. And that was just the warm-up. The 2025-26 season. Manzambi becomes a regular starter and produces numbers that make scouts rub their eyes. 47 appearances, 16 goal involvements across all competitions. But the real story is the Europa League. The 7th of May, 2026. The semi-final, second leg against Braga. Freiburg are trailing after the away defeat, and Manzambi scores the second goal in a game that ends 3-1, 4-3 on aggregate. And Freiburg reached the first European final in the club's entire history. The final itself, they lose, 3-0 to Aston Villa. But Manzambi walks away with something of his own, the Europa League Young Player of the Season award. And back home, he's voted Switzerland's best young player of 2025. Europe had learned his name. Now it was time to introduce himself to the world. With the national team, everything happened at breakneck speed. June 2025, his senior debut for Switzerland against Mexico. 3 days later, his first international goal against the United States. Then all 6 World Cup qualifiers without exception, scoring against Sweden both home and away. Switzerland's coach Murat Yakin describes him like this: unpredictable, versatile, relentless energy. And then he adds a phrase that explains Manzambi better than any statistic. He's a street footballer, the kind you have to give freedom to. In a single year, Johan goes from a youth team prospect to a player the national side can barely be imagined without. And then comes the summer of 2026, the World Cup, his first ever. And it starts quietly. In the opening match against Qatar, he comes off the bench, Switzerland draw, and there are more questions than answers. The 18th of June, Los Angeles, the match against Bosnia and Herzegovina. 73 minutes gone, 0-0. The game is stuck in the mud. Switzerland can't break through. Jochen rolls the dice. Off comes Dan Ndoye. On comes 20-year-old Manzambi. What follows is a lightning strike. A ball drops into the box, and Johan meets it on the volley, never letting it touch the grass, lashing it into the net. 166 seconds after stepping onto the pitch. 166. And in the 90th minute, he coolly slots home a second. A brace, off the bench. Now look at what that meant. The youngest Swiss player ever to score a World Cup brace. 20 years and 247 days. The youngest Swiss World Cup goal scorer since 1950. And the first player in his country's history to score twice as a substitute. After the match, he told reporters something disarmingly simple. "It's the first brace of my career, and at the World Cup, on top of that. I don't think I'll be able to sleep tonight." And then he simply didn't stop. Against the host nation Canada, a goal, an assist, and the Man of the Match award, as Switzerland won the group. The round of 32 against Algeria. It was his slaloming run and inch-perfect cross for Embolo that opened the scoring, and Switzerland won a World Cup knockout match for the first time in 88 years. For the first time since 1938. His tally so far, 3 goals and 2 assists. And according to Opta, Manzambi is the youngest player with 5 goal involvements at a single World Cup since Thomas Müller in 2010. The same Müller who went on to win the Golden Boot that year. And now, the detail I promised you. Remember the boy from Geneva who dreamed of standing between the posts, worshipping Manuel Neuer? Well, fate loves a script like this one. Playing for Freiburg in the Bundesliga, Manzambi has since faced his childhood idol, and according to press reports, he's even scored past him. The boy who wasn't allowed in goal grew up to beat the greatest goalkeeper of his generation. If you wrote that into a movie, they'd tell you it was too neat. Naturally, after a World Cup like this, the quiet around him is over. The English press values Manzambi at £42 million, with Newcastle named as the most persistent suitor. They say every burst he made in Vancouver felt like a preview to the fans watching back home. Arsenal, Chelsea, PSG, and Bayern Munich have all been mentioned in the conversation too. To be fair and honest with you, some of this is exactly that. Talk, nothing officially confirmed. But the very fact that clubs of this size are arguing over a 20-year-old Freiburg midfielder tells you the essential thing. The window he kicked open in 166 seconds is not closing again. Just think about the arc of it. The son of immigrants from Angola and Congo. A ball at his feet from the age of 4. Leaving home at 17, alone, for a foreign country. From the youth ranks to a Bundesliga starting spot in under a season. A historic European final with Freiburg. And a World Cup where, in 3 weeks, he went from a bench player to a name the whole planet is talking about. While Switzerland, thanks to him, broke a curse that had lasted 88 years. And all of that, at 20. It's scary to think what he'll be at 25. So here's my question for you. Is Manzambi a future superstar who should move to a top club this very summer? Or should he stay at Freiburg one more season and avoid the mistakes of a dozen wonder kids who burned out too soon? Drop your take in the comments. Hit like if you love a rise like this one, and subscribe. We cover the biggest breakout stories of this World Cup. See you next time.